use a cloth. Use a face cloth. Okay? All this like unga bunga cowboy caveman shit, that ain't gonna do it, baby. You got to, that cloth is gonna help you exfoliate.
Today we are reacting to Pharrell's morning skincare routine on Vogue, and I know that Pharrell just launched a skincare line that's supposed to be gender neutral, so I'm excited to dig in and see if this is just another celebrity skincare line pushing all of their own products when they really don't even know what steps a serum goes inside of a routine, or if we've actually got someone who understands that skincare is self-care, likes to explore their ingredients, their textures, their formulas, and actually uses products that benefit their skin both in the immediate term and in the long term. And if you don't know, or if you're new here, hello! My name is Cassandra Bankson. I'm an expert and have been in the industry for over 10 years, and I've personally struggled with acne for over 15. I'm a medical esthetician, and although I've worked alongside and with both doctors and dermatologists, I am not a physician myself. That being said, I love analyzing, scrutinizing, and learning from different people's skincare routines, so today, that's what we're gonna do.
What's up? It's Pharrell here. I'm here to walk you through like my morning, routine, what it is that I do every day. Do I stand here like this with my shirt off? I do. We're gonna start with the rice powder cleanser. So I like this because like you really get like it's like alchemical. You watch this like come to life in your hands. Just a couple of shakes right there.
This looks like a mildly exfoliating daily cleanser. I love that he mentions that he does this without a shirt, because honestly, I do my own skincare routine without a shirt on. It's just that in YouTube videos, you always see us wearing clothing because, not wearing clothing in a YouTube video is not really the best decision to edit, upload, and post on the internet. You know what I mean? This is one of the products from his personal skincare line. It's called HumanRace, which I actually really love the branding about. You know that I care more about the ingredients and the impact that skincare has on a person's face because I come from a treatment-based background. However, I do love a good design when I see it, and this line is supposed to be gender neutral, which is very much appreciated and very much needed. Rice Powder Cleanser has fruit AHAs, snow mushroom, and geranium. It's $32 and it's already sold out. I mean, on initial impression, oh my god! Whoever is doing this did their homework, because it says micro tear safe. There's a lot of fear when it comes to physical exfoliants about micro tears that can happen in the skin. Have you ever rolled around in grass and gotten itchy? It's because grass little blades can be sharp, they can cut the skin, and they can cause a little irritation as they heal. Micro tears are kind of the same thing, but in a skincare level, normally happens from walnut scrubs, from apricot scrubs, all those things that really don't belong anywhere near your face. It's 2020, it's not the 1990s. Grow up, CVS skincare aisle. But this looks good. It's vegan, it's cruelty-free, and it is fragrance-free for those who don't like fragrance. Wow, they show us the pH level, they show us the ingredients. Well, you're going to be putting water in it, so even though it's formulated at a pH of 5.6, that can be misleading because it depends on the pH of your water, but water is a 7, so it's really not going to matter that much. And when we look at the ingredients, we see kaolin clay, we see rice powder, which is very gentle on the skin, doesn't cause micro tears. We have olive, we have snow mushroom, sugar maple. I do love that we have allantoin and vitamin E. There is some orange and lemon, so even though it's fragrance-free, if someone's avoiding fragrance, they should also be avoiding like orange oils and lemon oils. I guess this is lemon fruit extract and orange fruit extract, so it is not exactly the oil. The extract is much less irritating. Overall, this seems like a really cool product. It kind of low-key reminds me of like a less expensive version of the Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant. That's a really good scrub that doesn't actually destroy the skin. I mean, you can still go too hard with any product, but this actually looks really good. If it weren't sold out, I would have added this to my cart.
Now we get into foam situation. I started taking care of my skin like maybe a little over 20 years ago. It's when I met Elena Jones, who's a good friend. And, I wanted to understand more and, just about like skin health, right? But your face, that's the thing that people communicate with, and your face is only as good as the energy that comes from behind it. And that's just like understanding that like your face is different. You gotta take care of your face.
I am so happy that he brings this up. We always focus on the aesthetics of skincare, but if we don't nurture our bodies both with nutrients and our mental health and just kind thoughts and happiness and positivity and a growth mindset, then it's really hard to live at optimal health. I am so happy that someone brings this up because skincare truly is self-care. I am a firm believer that we do take on the world face first, and although I don't think that our appearance should control our lives, what you look like has no impact on how you can positively impact this world. Please keep that in mind. But we still, like he said, communicate using our faces. It is something that we use to represent ourselves. That's why we can choose to paint it, we can choose to furrow it, we can choose to use it. And it would be ignorant to say that it doesn't matter, even though I don't think that aesthetics, the way society has put them, should give us that definition of beauty. I think that we should create our own definition of beauty and put our best face forward and our face first in order to create that. And it's not creating our reality through what we look like, it's creating our reality in here and then channeling it through what we look like, how we choose to express ourselves, what we wear, what we do or don't put on our faces. And as long as you're putting sunscreen on your face every day, then I am happy. Come along if you know that SPF is good for you. Okay, I'm done.
So the second step is the Lotus Enzyme Exfoliator. So look, when you guys get this, I'm telling you, it's really nice.
Another product from his own line. We see it happening, but still. The only thing here is that these are both exfoliators. The first one was a gentle, maybe daily exfoliator. We don't want to over exfoliate the skin. Adding another exfoliator would be like a twice weekly maybe thing. The only thing is that we often see over exfoliation happening, and I would hope that this skincare line also has a regular cleanser that doesn't have any exfoliating properties and maybe just has antioxidants and something to gently cleanse, you know, but not exfoliate the skin. When we look at this enzyme exfoliator, again, I love that it has enzymes. It also has AHAs, specifically glycolic acid at 8%. The little push top does look pretty cool, and they did label the pH. Acids normally penetrate the skin better at a low pH. You need to know the pH level and the pKa value when it comes to cosmetic chemistry, and that's why you can't tell everything from an ingredients list. However, at least they're sharing that with us, and at least this one seems like a really good one. This does have water, glycerin, that glycolic acid at 8%, which is water soluble, so the water, glycerin, perfectly fine. We do see some rice powder in here again. I wonder if the rice powder is super, super fine or if it actually feels a little bit grainy. This also has some rice bran water, so a little bit more hydrating even. Lotus extract and lactobacillus papaya fruit ferment extract. So this is like a bacterial ferment extract, which is actually really soothing to the skin. We do again have some of that orange and lemon, so they say it's fragrance free, but these are technically types of fragrances. As long as you're okay with that. Again, I don't hate fragrance, I think that's fine, but that is up to you and your skin. And then we also have panthenol, which is vitamin B5, which we love to see in here. Again, this sounds like an amazing product, and I would totally add this to cart if it weren't sold out.
You know, people keep asking, like, what are you doing? What's your routine? And everybody's got a different routine, you know, and everybody's got different processes and methods. And for me, it was always, okay, you're gonna need a good cleanser.
Yep.
You're gonna need a good exfoliator. And then, and in my case, you're gonna need like our awesome humidifying cream, right? It moisturizes. But the number one thing for me is like routine. And so that's what we're giving people.
The number one thing should be sunscreen and then routine. Truly, if you want to go super minimal with your skincare, I have a cleanse consistency complete kind of skincare roadmap that I like to use and recommend to others. But if you want to go the basics of the basics, all you really need is a cleanser and a sunscreen. That is just the basics of a routine. And if you do want to get fancier, if you do have dry skin, if you want to treat things like acne or hyperpigmentation, that's when we add in these other special things for, like he said, either a routine experience, a skincare being self-care experience, or a treatment experience, which is why I love the art, the chemistry, and everything that goes into skincare and to crafting your own routine. But I wish that this line would make a sunscreen. I don't think they have one. I'm looking under skincare. Oh, they don't have a sunscreen. You know what I do like? I like that they have well-beings and about HumanRace at the top. I actually saw this on Pharrell's Instagram, but they're actually highlighting and posting photos of actual humans, peoples, pushing boundaries. I really appreciate that this is gender neutral. Whoever was in charge of marketing, product development, focus groups, user experience, They did a really good job. Like, I am ready to throw all of my money at this line. It's decently priced from what I can see. Wow. I want a sunscreen. I want a sunscreen, and I want a toner, a gender neutral toner. Please and thank you.
You know, sometimes when I like wash my face, like when I look at the face cloth or the face towel, sometimes it's a little bit more like brown. You know, it's not because I'm dirty, it's just like you're exfoliating, just like removing those layers of dead skin as much as you can.
I appreciate that he brings this up. A lot of people freak out because they swipe and they see something dirty, they think they have to get it off their face. Sometimes it's makeup, sometimes it is just dead skin. Do you know what dust is? Dust all over your house, on your furniture, on your TV, that is all dead skin cells. And yes, that is what's building up on those dusty surfaces. Skin is not perfect. It's not meant to be pure or completely clean, neither is the rest of your body. However, I understand the marketing side of that, and I think it's important that we understand that, like Pharrell says, taking care of our skin, establishing a routine, exfoliating responsibly is important. Now, you and I understand this, but for people who maybe are watching this for the first time, I would be a little bit concerned about over-exfoliation. We do live in an over-exfoliation nation of cleansers that exfoliate, toners and serums that exfoliate, moisturizers with AHAs, using scrubs, using peels, even taking antibiotics like tetracycline or doxycycline or minocycline that make us photosensitive or light sensitive. So, while exfoliating can be wonderful, and while yes, it does make your cheeks look like a baby's butt cheeks, you can overdo it. And that's when things get dangerous, because you could compromise your skin's barrier. You could cause transepidermal water loss, meaning your skin loses its natural hydration. You could exacerbate pre-existing conditions such as eczema or psoriasis, or even cause flares of acne. So exfoliate responsibly.
Oh yeah, okay. And that's all you need. It's the perfect amount. But oh man, right? Who's gonna tell me? Except the beautiful women that have been in my life. You know, I was like, man, how do you do it? What's going on? Share it. And it's really mostly just maintenance.
I think that this is such a good point. Men are brought up thinking that pink is girly and they must be angry to be masculine and don't spend time on frivolous things such as skincare. And I think that all of those gender stereotypes need to go away. Women can be powerful and assertive. Men can be kind and compassionate. Non-binary friends can be all of these things as well. And I don't like that we attribute these things to genders in society. And same with skincare. Just the way I hope you're washing your butt crack every time you shower, every single person should be washing their face and brushing their teeth and taking care of themselves. And depending on what steps you want to add in is up to you and your personal needs. And if you are someone who has societal expectations placed upon you based on your gender or gender identity, please rebel against those proudly. And if somebody questions you, educate them kindly and responsibly. Because it's 2020 and it's time for the world to wake up.
It's like really, the routine is number one. I don't care what you're doing, you know, genes, genetics, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You have got to cleanse your face, right? And use a cloth, people. Use a cloth. Use a face cloth, okay? All this like unga bunga, cowboy, caveman shit, that ain't gonna do it, baby. You got to, that cloth is gonna help you exfoliate.
Unga bunga caveman shit. Can we have this be like the new definition? Kind of like the greasy turkey thing that happened a while ago. Unga bunga caveman shit and greasy turkey are now a part of this channel's vocabulary. Write it down, take notes, because this is solid. The one thing that I will kindly disagree with is the statement on genetics, that they don't matter. It is true that genes do not dictate our lives like people think they do. Our epigenetics play more into that. And epigenetics are things that we can actually control from our diet, from our lifestyle, from our exercise, from our mindset. We can actually influence which genes are turned on or turned off. And therefore, we are kind of controlling, in a way, what genes end up being turned on or off and expressing themselves. So it is very important to take into consideration things like diet and nutrition, and that's why so many of these things are so important to being happy and healthy overall. But your genes do matter, and there are some people who are predisposed to specific skin conditions based on genetics. And you could have the most perfect routine for your skin type, but if you were born with genetics that predispose you to hereditary psoriasis, you're still probably going to end up struggling with hereditary psoriasis or eczema or lupus, autoimmune diseases. All of these can impact the skin, and I know that Pharrell probably means well. I'm just being nitpicky here, but that's why we react to these videos, not to bash people, but to understand and explain routines and learn along the way. And I think it's important that we explain that yes, our DNA and our genes do matter. They are very, very similar, but small pieces of them differentiate us, and our epigenetics are something that we can control. And yes, in skincare, a lot of these issues that we struggle with can be genetic, and that is not the person's fault. It's not a lack of hygiene on someone's part if they are experiencing these flare-ups in their skin. There is a tendency to blame acne sufferers or to blame skincare sufferers for their conditions. And sometimes these things are genetic or epigenetic in nature or hereditary, and they cannot be controlled just by a new cream or a new product. And that skincare shaming is something that we need to stop. And I think that stopping that starts with awareness, which comes from education. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I hope you enjoyed my monologue.
Your face means nothing without the spirit that comes from behind it. Your face is what people talk to. They do not talk to your body. It doesn't emote. What emotes is your face. And so, you know, your face is the conduit of like your expression and how you feel. How my day is gonna go is usually just based on like what I want out of it.
Yeah.
You know, what do I want out of it? And I always say to people like, man, be blessed, but most importantly, be a blessing. So how can I do that? How can I be a blessing to someone today in some way, shape, or form?
I love that so much. Be blessed, but be a blessing. What you look like has no impact on what you can do for this world. And what you feel on the inside truly does get channeled from the outside. Oprah Winfrey, I think, was the one who said, you cannot control your circumstances, but you can always control how you react to them. And I think that if we approach life with that mindset, we're able to make choices, we're able to see things from a new perspective, and realize that in certain times, we shouldn't take life that seriously. And it helps us be a kinder person to other people, but also to ourselves, because you know that inner narrator isn't always nice to us, but if we be kind to it, maybe it'll return the favor.
So it comes in this little box. There's a whole bunch of them. You take this right here, stick that through. I had to bring it down here. You put this on top like this. Just a little bit like this.
So this actually doesn't even look like this is from Pharrell's skincare line. This looks like an ampule. These are some old school ampules where you actually have to break the top. They're glass. This can be dangerous because you are breaking glass, but that looks like what this is. Let me see. I thought we were just going to get everything from his skincare line, but this is actually refreshing. It is very expensive at $112, but it is a vitamin C hyaluronic acid anti-aging serum ampule. The ingredients do look halfway decent. It's a little bit overpriced for what it is, because let me tell you, I can find vitamin C and hyaluronic acid at a much less expensive price. But I think it's also important to note that Pharrell Williams probably has the money and the interest to spend it, and of course, people can spend their money on skincare on whatever they want. I just want you to know that you do not have to spend $112 to get a good, decent vitamin C brightening, hydrating serum. That is very important for me to convey to you, which is why we do these reaction videos. The full ingredients look good. We have a stabilized ascorbic acid, which is our vitamin C, propylene glycol and glycerin, which is what gives it this texture, feel, kind of soaks in. It does have fragrance in it, but again, that's not a horrible thing. Hyaluronic acid and sodium hyaluronate, which is the salt sister of hyaluronic acid. It does have sodium hydroxide, which people will freak out about, but this indicates to me, having experience in formulation, that this was used in an earlier step of cosmetic chemistry. Sodium hydroxide and lye is something to be very afraid of if you're seeing it out and about, but when it's formulated properly, sometimes it's combined with other ingredients in a formula, so it's completely safe, or sometimes it's not even in that form when you actually apply it to your skin. You know, and that's why understanding some of these things is very important, and if we're not actually in the cosmetic laboratory, it's hard to understand what's actually going on. Overall, it looks a little overpriced for what it is, because I can find other vitamin C hyaluronic acid products elsewhere. I'm also a little bit worried if this is indeed glass, because I believe that this is an old school ampule, but overall, it's not a horrible product. And you know what? If he wants to spend his money on it, it looks like his skin is doing good.
It just locks in the moisture. You know, I use it often. I don't use it all the time.
Did you notice how he used this serum in his eye area? It is not specifically an eye serum, but as we have spoken about before, eye creams are overpriced pieces of crap. You can put something here, you can put it here, and if you can put it here, you can put it here. And I love that Pharrell is doing this because it shows us that they're taking care of their skin and they're finding ways to multi-purpose their products as one should. If you want to use an eye cream, be my guest. If you like different textures, go for it. But don't think that you have to spend a bunch of money on these tiny little tubes just so that marketers can get more money out of your pockets. And if you want to hear an entire rant about why I hate the marketing behind eye creams, you can watch that right here.
I always talk about humidity. I think, like, I grew up around humidity in Virginia. You know, it's very humid there.
No! Is the internet lying to me? He looks like he's in his 30s. What is going on here? Okay, all of the skincare ingredients, let me buy them up. Yeah, maybe it's this $112 serum, I don't know.
And some people don't like it. Some people think that humidity is hot, but I think humidity is good for your skin. And the cool thing about this is, by the way, this is HumanRace, right? It can't be HumanRace without the Braille.
I did not know that they even put Braille on these products. Thank you. Pharrell Williams starting something here. This is the kind of representation that we need. I know it's a celebrity skincare line. I know he even mentioned he doesn't know the most about skincare, but at least they're doing it right and responsibly. Oh my God. Again, this is like a celebrity skincare line that I would actually buy, not because it belongs to Pharrell Williams, but because like this actually looks really good. Again, it is sold out. Darn it. $48 for 2.1 fluid 8 ounces. You know, okay. pH of 5.4. Skin likes to hang around maybe 5.5, so that's honestly perfect for a moisturizer that you leave on the skin. We have a lot of the most typical ingredients that we see in moisturizers because they work. Water, glycerin, which is our humectant, it's also found in food, caprylic triglyceride from coconuts, glyceryl stearate, we have cetearyl alcohol, penylene glycol, palmitic acid, rice bran water, all really good basic stuff. This is a nice fluffy moisturizer, and then they add in Centella asiatica, which is wonderful. Niacinamide, which is that vitamin B3. We have lactobacillus ferment, which is again this bacterial ferment that they're extracting, very soothing to the skin. Vitamin E, it is fragrance free, and this one doesn't look like it has a lot of that lemon or a lot of that orange in it. So this would probably be better for those who truly have a sensitivity to fragrancing ingredients. Wow, you guys, I'm really impressed by this. I really, really, really like it.
I eat pretty clean, you know what I'm saying? I don't eat like fast food, but I eat a lot of sweets, man. I eat enough sweets to where like me eating clean don't mean shit. It just don't. Like, I love cupcakes. You don't even understand. But look how I'm going, man.
He looks like a cupcake, honestly. And again, just the way we can't extrapolate how a skincare product is going to work just by looking at one ingredient, we can't extrapolate someone's health or wellness based on just one food that they eat. I as well love sweets. I love salty things. The food, just give it to me. I'm 6 feet tall and your Amazonian girl has an appetite. And I relate to this cupcake consumption on a very personal level.
Like popping, like to go really build something so that we can not only make something good, but like set some great intentions out there in the world too. That's when you know you're doing something right. It's not male or female, you know, it's for humans. That's what this whole thing is about for us. It's like, we need to connect with humans, man. There's so much divisiveness in the air, and you know, and there's so many questions around like gender, and I just want to connect with humans.
I'm so happy that this is brought up. Even if you look at the German language, they have different words and different ways of speaking depending on if something is male or female or neither. And in America, to just say male or female, or even in Spanish or Punjabi to have male or female pronouns, what about it? What about them? What about these different pronouns that people actually express themselves as. And if you truly believe that there are only two genders, please go back to science class. There's not just XX and XY, there's also XXY, there's XYY. There are many different expressions. And again, your genes can be different than your gender identity, which can be different than your sexuality. And I love that Pharrell Williams is speaking up about this and that the HumanRace skincare line is embracing this. And yes, there are more colors than red and blue. There are more political parties than just two. And I am a rhymer. How about you? That's all.
This, I am guilty of not really holding up my end of the bargain on sunscreen. I mean, it's 100% mineral.
At least he admits it. That makes me happy. I am so happy to see a sunscreen in this morning routine, especially because after exfoliation, we need to protect the skin from the sun. And all of these vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, interesting ingredients mean nothing if you're not protecting your skin, because 99% of the damage that happens to the skin is through the sun, is through that photo aging.
Chanel. You know what I mean?
At first I was like, is this a Chanel sunscreen? No, Chanel lip balm. Okay, well, what's the sunscreen? Esthetician Photo. I actually have never heard of this line. It says it's an ageless tinted mineral sunscreen, SPF 50. Love that it's mineral for my acne blemishes. That is what I prefer. It doesn't soak into the bloodstream, but we should not demonize organic sunscreen for absorbing into the bloodstream, because again, just because these organic / chemical sunscreens do absorb doesn't mean that they're harmful, and that was under maximum use cases. And I think that's very important to point out, because the best sunscreen is the one that you're going to use. It does look expensive, but it does look worth it. I personally have found other skincare products that don't flash back, that are mineral, that are less expensive than this, but what I do like that kind of sets them apart, call it a unique value proposition, they do have a plankton extract, which I actually find to be very interesting. There's a lot of science on potentially what this can do for skin. We also do have different peptides in here, tripeptide 38 and pentapeptide 34. Super awesome. Peptides are fantastic. They're small enough to get into the skin. This actually looks really good. And again, do you need this? No, the best sunscreen is the one that you're going to use and can afford to use every single day. But if you have the extra money for this, it's expensive, but it's not sold out. I might buy this one. Well, Pharrell, we shall see.
Skin health is something that I think everyone needs to pay attention to, whether you're using our products or not. Like, skin health is a very important thing. And you have to consider where we are in our environment and what our policies are and the things that the side effects of these policies, like, you know, how it affects the ozone and what it's doing to, you know, our skin, you know. And I think that we as Black people are not, or people of color are not exempt. Like, we all have to be cognizant of these UV rays. It's just a very different thing. I don't care who you are, what you're doing, where you're able to get it from, whether it's from the CVS or it's from your favorite brand or mine, like, you gotta get an SPF. I did a whole lot of talking. That's not what I usually do, but it was fun, and I'm grateful. Working on myself.
I am grateful too. I love that Pharrell is creating excellent products, being inclusive with them, having great ingredients, non-irritating formulations, and then even telling us that we don't have to buy them, because taking care of yourself is more important than the brand that you use to do so. Finally, someone who understands, someone who appears to be socially responsible, obviously talented, obviously attractive, but intelligent. And honestly, it's a rarity to see someone express that so genuinely these days, and then to actually have that be put in the media. Because have you noticed that angry, belligerent, you know, ridiculous people get a lot more media coverage than those who are actually doing things right? And it's because it's not sensationalized. But to see Vogue actually highlighting this, to see so many people actually clicking on it to watch it and resonating with what is said, this is what we expect from our skincare routines. Even talking about how every skin type needs a sunscreen. Yes, there is the Fitzpatrick photosensitivity scale. People who do have darker skin tones naturally have a slightly higher SPF rating to their skin, but the blackest of black skin has an SPF rating of 13 at the highest. You still need sunscreen every single day. And white folks, probably around 3. It depends, of course, on your genetics and your specific circumstances, but SPF is your BFF, and we need it every damn day. And I'm so happy that Pharrell understands that and promotes that. This is also one of the first times I feel I can really connect and get behind a celebrity skincare line. I'm thinking about all of the celebrity skincare lines that have launched. I get it, it's trendy right now. This is one that I'm really, really inspired by. It's really hard to do things right. trust me, and it's really hard to find other people who are doing things right. But based on the aesthetics and just what I've seen so far, I am impressed and I am ready to just throw my money at the computer screen. Tell me where to throw it. Take my money. If you enjoyed learning about skincare from this video, then you are going to love this one. Be sure to click it. And if you want to see us react to another celebrity skincare routine, this one's a little bit more questionable. Overall, please hit that like button so that the YouTube algorithm shows this video to other people. And always remember to be beautiful both inside and out. I love you and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Love you guys.